back to Andersen Acres. We are inside today again with all the doggies. And we are going to teach step 2 of Leave It. And they're kind of anxious because they want the snacks. So, the first step was simply holding it in our hands, closing it, waiting for them to back off, which can take a minute. Yes! I'm just going to snap this one in half. Whiskey doesn't care. Okay, so this time, that was step 1. So step 2 today is going to be, we're going to take the treats and put them on the floor. Okay? And we're going to cover them with our hand as soon as the doggies reach for them. Okay? As soon as the doggies reach for them. So you can see Whiskey a little bit better. So as soon as the doggies reach for them, we'll cover them with our hand and we'll say no. So we're going to introduce the word no. And then when they back off, we'll say yes and let them have the treat. Now I have 3 treats in my hand. No. So we're going to... They really want the treats very badly. So I have 3 because I have 3 dogs. Now, you really shouldn't do this with all 3, but we're going to do it anyway. So, put them on the ground. No. Wait for them to back off. She already has. Good. Yes. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we do it again. So it's a little chaotic because I have 3 dogs here. So it's a little more chaotic than it might otherwise be. But, yeah. So your handful of treats. You put it down. Excuse me. Give me a minute. Nope. Wait for them to back off. You can do it from either sitting or laying down. It doesn't matter. This isn't about sit or laying down. So we're just going to wait for her to back off. He has. Nope. Nope. Yes! 1 for you. 1 for you. We're not using the leave it command yet. They have to master this particular skill before, because this is, you're getting really close now. The treat is literally under their nose. So that's where you want it. You want it like right here so that they learn to leave it when you tell them to. So that's why we're getting so close. You want to work where they're right on top of the treat because they need to learn to back off even when the treat is right under their nose. Even when, like, it might be a dead mouse, it might be whatever it is you don't want them touching. You do need to make sure that you are right there. So remember, you're probably going to be saying leave it when they're in the middle of doing something you don't want them to do. So he doesn't care. He's done this for so long, it doesn't even matter anymore to him. He doesn't care. He figures you'll give him the treat eventually. They are just learning because I haven't done this with Tequila either. So again, 1 more time. 3 treats. Wait till Tequila is done scratching her head. Treats. No. And you wait. You're just way too interested right now. When they're not interested, good boy. Hi, Whiskey. Good boy. Wait till she's done. Yes! 1 for you. 1 for you. And 1 for Whiskey. Whiskey's just getting treats just for existing. He's not actually doing it. He doesn't care. He's a good boy. So that is how you do leave it step 2. There is a step 3 involved, and that's where we actually teach the actual leave it. But you're going to practice this step 2, treats on the floor, and then you covering them, until you're absolutely sure your dogs will do it every single time. You want that time between when they want the treat and then when they back off to get shorter and shorter and shorter. And eventually you're going to put the treats on the floor. They won't move towards them until you say yes. Okay, Whiskey needs a hug. No Whiskey. So what you're going to do is keep practicing until you get to the point where you put the treats on the floor and nobody reacts. So we're not going to be at that point yet, but we can still grab a couple of treats here and give it a try. Well, obviously, we're not going to be at that point yet because They literally just started doing this. So, no. So you put them down. No. Wait until she's not super focused. Yes! And Whiskey gets one just for being here. Yeah, you get credit for showing up. This is a good boy. So keep doing that, and then they figure it out that they're not supposed to have just whatever hits the floor. Okay? Till they are practicing waiting. As soon as you've got that down where you can put the treats down and they kind of look at you and wait for a yes, then you can move on to the next step. But for now, that's the step you're going to practice. We will come back next week and we will talk about the third and final step, because leave it really is an important command. Every single dog should learn leave it. And there are multiple ways to train leave it. You do not have to train leave it this way. There's other ways to do it. There's ways to do it with toys. There's lots of different ways. But this is the way I choose to do it. It makes it really, really easy, especially because these guys are pretty snack motivated. They're also kind of lazy. So, yes, that's how we do it. So, I don't think they're going to do it, but we're going to give it one more shot, see if anybody reacts when I put treats on the ground. Yes! Treat for you. Treat for you. Actually, that was fantastic. I didn't think they were going to do it that quickly. Good boys. Good boy, good boy, good girl. So, yes, that was actually perfect. That's what you want them to do. You put the treats on the ground, and they wait. They wait for you to give them permission. Okay? So, next week we'll come back, third and final step, and we'll introduce the term leave it. Right now, we have not introduced that. You're not using that word yet. You're just letting them understand that just because it's on the floor doesn't mean it's theirs. Okay? And this will translate really well to if you drop food on the floor in the kitchen. This isn't just a good skill to have because you're outside dealing with livestock. It's also a good skill to have just because you don't want them eating every single thing that hits the floor. So they're learning that really well. These two are pretty smart, so I think they're getting it. So that is literally about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Come back next week and we'll do the third and final step. We'll see you tomorrow.